Today, we'll be sharing about the National Museum of Anthropology located in Rizal Park, Manila. This museum highlights the rich culture and history of the Filipino people. It was designed by Antonio Toledo in neoclassical style and once the Department of Finance before becoming the Museum of in 1998. Inside, you'll find amazing exhibits like Agta and Mangyan tribe displays, the San Diego Shipwreck artifacts, and the Hibla ng Lahig Filipino Textile Gallery. Each gallery showcases the diverse traditions, crafts, and heritage of different Filipino ethnic groups from across the country. The museum reminds us of who we are as Filipinos, creative, diverse, and proud of our roots.
Standing proudly in the heart of Manila, the National Museum of Anthropology is more than just a building. It is a treasure house of stories about who we are as a Filipino. Its history traces back to the early 20th century, when the National Museum of the Philippines was established in 1901. Over the years, as the museum collection grew, the needs for dedicated space for the celebrate the country's rich cultural heritage became clear.
In 1998, the old Department of Finance building along Padre Burgos Avenue was restored and transformed into what we now know as the National Museum of Anthropology. This transformation gave new life to a historic structure, turning it into a home to the nation's most important ethnographic and archaeological collections.
Inside this hall, every artifact tells a story of the daily lives, belief, and creativity of many indigenous communities that make up the Philippines. From the woven textile of the Cordillera to the boat building traditions of Mindanao, the museum reveals how culture has always been at the heart of our identity. But beyond displaying objects, the National Museum of Anthropology is leaving a space. Now, imagine walking into the room where the past still speak, not through words, but through color, texture, and design.
The Agta, also known as Aita or Dumagat, believed to have lived in the Philippines for more than 30 years. They were among the first inhabitants of the Philippines, living as the hunter-gatherers who depended on the forest, rivers, and the mountains for survival.
The Agta tribe are the earliest indigenous group in the Philippines, living mostly in the mountains and forests of Luzon, such as in Aurora, Quezon, and Cagayan. Their culture is closely connected to nature because their traditional way of life depends on hunting wild animals, fishing in rivers, and gathering forest products like fruits, roots, and honey. They usually live in small communities led by an elder who is respected for wisdom and experience rather than power. The Agta believe in spirits that live in nature, such as in trees, rivers, and mountains, and they perform ritual, dances, and offering to ask for protection, good harvest, or healing. They have a strong sense of family and cooperation, sharing food and helping one another in daily life. Their oral tradition, music, and storytelling are important parts of their culture, keeping their history and values alive. Although many Agta now wear modern clothes, they still value their traditional identity and connect to the environment that has sustained them for generations.
Aita, custom, encompass hunter-gatherer way of life of living with extensive awareness in nature, animist, and Christian faiths. Distinctive arts such as body scarification and agong ensembles, along with healing methods that utilize herbal remedies. They possess particular burial practices that have evolved over the years.
Now, imagine walking into a room where the past still speaks, not through words, but through color, texture, and design. These crafts aren't relics. They're echoes of living cultures.
In the heart of the Philippines, the Agta and the Mangyan weave not just materials, but memory. Each craft is a bridge between generations, a thread that ties.
Abubu in Agta tribe is a traditional bamboo fish trap used in rivers and streams. It is usually basket-shaped, allowing fish to swim inside easily.
The ugyong are described as a specific type of detachable and replaceable bamboo arrowhead. This is used to cause prey to bleed out, making them easier to track.
The pulong tela is traditional red colored fabric commonly worn by Agta tribe as part of their cultural attire. It is usually wrapped around the body as a waist covering, shoulder cloth, or headband.
High in the mountain of rural lives in the oldest indigenous people called the Mandaya people. Long aside the Spanish arrived, Mandaya people tried to trade honey, rattan, and also their forest goods in the neighboring communities.
When settlers came, they moved inland, away from outside influence, preserving their traditions. Through generations, the Mangyan have kept their deep connection to nature and their unique way of life alive. Let's start with Surat Mangyan. Surat Mangyan is an ancient writing system of the Hananuo Mangyan. It's a pre-colonial script closely related to Baybayin, written on a bamboo using pointed knife. Each symbol represents a syllable. It is written from left to right, in a horizontal direction. What makes Surat Mangyan special is that it's still used today, a living proof of how the Mangyan preserved their literacy and heritage for centuries.
One person who helped keep this tradition alive is the famous Ginao Bilog. Ginao Bilog is a Hanuno Mangyan from Oriental Mindoro, which was awarded as National Living Treasure by the NCCA in 1993 for preserving a Mangyan poetic tradition, Ambahan. Ginao Bilog proved that by preserving your traditions and culture, it will stay true and honest to itself for future generations to come.
Kaambahan is a unique form of Mangyan poetry, written in Surat Mangyan and recited in a rhythmic melodic way. Each verse has 7 syllables and often talks about daily life, friendship, advice, and even friendship. Instead of direct speech, Kaambahan uses metaphor and symbolism. It's how the Mangyan express emotions and communicate respectfully. It's not just poetry, it's a moral guide and a reflection of their worldview.
The Mangyan creativity also shines through their craft, like the ramen. It's a hand-woven cloth made by Mangyan women with their natural fibers and dye. It is also represented art.
And of course, there's the gitkit, a three-string bamboo fiddle often played with a bow. Its gentle sound often accompanied by songs or ambahan recitations during gatherings. These artistic expressions, from weaving to music, show show how creativity and culture of the Mangyan people flow together.
In the quiet corners of the National Museum of Anthropology, the crafts of the Agta and Mangyan tribes speak not just of skill but of spirit. Each weave, carving, and verse carries the heartbeat of people that are deeply connected to their land and to one another. Their art is more than heritage. It is a reminder that creativity is a language of identity, love, and survival. As we witness these living traditions, may we learn to see culture not as something from the past, but as something we keep alive through understanding, respect, and storytelling.
Remember, don't just admire the art, experience it. A simple visit to museums or exhibits is a great chance to show our support to the ethnic groups like the Mangyan and Agta and to know their stories.